Okay, first of all, let's analyze this topic. People can only be happy if they feel they are treated fairly. Obviously, it's not true, right? People can be happy if they are treated fairly. It's not true. You can be happy because of other factors. But because this topic is about being treated fairly, we have to talk something about fairness first. Okay, so what is our argument going to be like? We will have to argue that people do feel happiness if they are treated fairly. Okay, then we have to explain why, right? We have to explain why this is so. Then, in our balanced view, we will argue that happiness is not only the result of being treated fairly, but it is also determined by other factors. What are some of these factors that leads to happiness? Well, it could be love. You know, people love you and you feel happy. It could be due to you being valued as a person, right? It also could be because you have a sense of purpose in life. So you feel a sense of achievement and happiness because you are contributing to society. Okay, so that's our basic structure. Now let's go into the essay proper. So in my intro, I will say that often children lament to their parents, right? It's not fair. So even in children, they know what fairness is. It is a universal human right that everyone desires. And sometimes it leads to happiness. So I'm going to explain how it leads to happiness. In Singapore, everyone is given the chance to succeed in the workplace as we practice meritocracy, right? That means if we put in the effort, we will succeed. Every school is a good school. The same amount of resources is given to every school. This system ensures that a child is developed holistically and given opportunities to realize his potential. Hence, our education system is lauded internationally for raising the literacy standards of all our people. We feel satisfied when our achievements are recognized, when we reap what we sow. On the other hand, right, when there is biasness and discrimination, resentment arises among certain groups. This discrimination could be due to the color of one's skin, religion, etc. When they are ostracized, these people become the target of baseless accusations, unfair treatment, and outright hostility, resulting in feelings of exasperation and not of happiness. Use some current affairs or some historical examples in order to improve the maturity of the essay. So the example that I've chosen is the Black Lives Matter movement. The genesis is that the white officer kneeled on the neck of a black man, right, George Floyd, for several minutes, suffocating him. And this careless act, meaning this insensitive act, fanned the flames of existing social tensions, resulting in nationwide protests against racism. People are not happy. They want fairness. Okay, so that shows us why fairness leads to happiness and why unfairness leads to unhappiness. Okay, having said that, now we come to the balanced view. While people do gain a certain amount of happiness when they are treated fairly, it is not the only cause of happiness. Happiness for any individual depends on a myriad of factors the more common ones being unconditional love from close ones, a feeling of being valued, and a sense of purpose in life. And of course, you might want to explain some of these factors, right? How they lead to happiness. Finally, we conclude by saying, indeed, there are people who are dealt with bad cards. They have been treated unfairly due to poverty, misfortune, or victimization, yet they still can be happy. In contrast, we hear of people who are wealthy, yet they commit suicide due to an unhappy life. Therefore, the link between fairness and happiness is tenuous. Okay, means it's not very closely linked.